Okay, so this is another stream for Thursday, May 28th, 2020. There's been significant acceleration going on here locally in the United States and on the China front. So you've got both civil unrest in the United States taking place, and you've got advancements in China. Now, although the situation in Minneapolis is involving some chaotic stuff, you've got buildings burned, and you've got homicides taking place, and you've got National Guard involved at this point. Due to the timing, right? I mean, in the overall situation, it does appear from the surface level to be organic. But that is how this always looks every single time. Due to the timing of this situation, there is a possibility that this is not organic at all. Now, if you're in Minneapolis or another area that begins to have disruption and protests, now don't misconstrue what I'm saying or write something into what I'm saying that I'm not. I'm talking about just actuality and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. So if you are in a location that is going to experience riots or protests, and if you are going to go observe or something like that, now if you're not going to go observe anyway, then just do what you're going to do. Protect yourself. Stay out of trouble. If you're gonna fucking go down there anyway, then you would do well to look around and see if you can identify any person that's acting as a facilitating node to coordinate any kind of group of people. So the way that you would do that, if it's possible, if you get elevated to an elevated position, you'll be able to watch movement, and you'll be able to see a bunch of people moving to and interacting with a person. The other thing that you will see is a person standing off to the sideline with like a phone probably, and then every once in a while you'll see somebody approach them from the group of people. You would do well to check that out and look for it, figure out what organization they're with. This is like this, what I'm talking about has an extreme contemporary historical precedent. Everything from like Ferguson, which was National Guard got involved and you had riots. Ferguson had Democracy Partners. Same thing with Eric Garner protests. So the Democracy Partners, what they would usually do, and that's only one organization out of several. Democracy Partners is actually associated with Jan Schakowsky and other elements that are with the I think his position as a president of that NGO. They were one of the things that Democracy Partners did, which is pretty common. You go to the site of wherever the disturbance is, and then within like a mile to 2 miles, there should be a hotel. Like, what you do is if you can't find anybody there, you can go to the hotels and you can just kind of like, don't do anything wrong, but you can you're welcome to go to a hotel and look around, and you can see if anybody's there from out of town. All these people that come in from afar, from other states, are going to be staying in close proximity to the fucking protests and riots. So a big thing about this is that you're starting to see gun confiscation in Minneapolis. So that's a sure fucking sign that shit is going to get fucking bad. In all likelihood, it will probably get bad. And this might be the opening event for the domestic side of what would be the bad boog, the one that's controlled. In the China situation, the executive cabinet has begun terminating visas for Chinese nationals that are serving in universities. I've already talked about this before this ever happened, but it's, just so that you understand, this is a part of the process of publicly identifying Chinese nationals as the threat to the United States, so that heat gets taken off of the group and the individuals that are like currently doing a slow into the MSM following this up. And the MSM is going to start pushing hard to identify Chinese nationals as subversive in the United States. And the United States is going to start kicking them out. Now you should brought into the United States, and it happened with when you start seeing the executive government working with media to put the focus on Chinese nationals. What a hypocrisy this is. Now, I'm not saying I don't think that there should be any kind of fucking voodoo immigration in the fucking first place, but since we basically live in a pseudo-communist consumerism society, this is the way that shit's done, and we don't have any control. So keep an eye out for that. Shit is probably going to start getting wild soon. I mean, who knows? But this is looking like the beginning of the greater synthesis that's going to start rolling out and taking place, which will culminate in a full-scale war with China. I just wanted to get those points out there on record so that you guys can fucking determine for yourself if I'm a retard or not. And we will see how it develops. Okay, have fun.